Newton, I will tell you. Then you can go on and
Also choose the other Gambia where citizens will slaughter your property in public.
ak beneen Gambia boo xam ne bii comme ni fi nekkee woon nga xam ne seen année yi dañoo am di ko jëfandikoo wala ci lu leen neex dañuy seet yàlla yu yor. ak bu dee am ngir la doon gën ci yoon ak li ngeen defoon ci si dina yéen a doon tàggat pour nga xam ne moo tax defoon. Et puis kon su fekkee ne dañ nekk loo xam ne lii dafa jaarlu da ngeen leen ko da ngeen leen ko wax bu leen nekk di leen sant di leen yëkkati ci kanam di leen jaay ñoom ñëpp ñu fa loolu
very much mbokk yi fu mu nekk nii kilifa ji Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh jeexal na kaddu gang bi waxtaan waa Banjuli waxtaan ñu déglu Further Gambia. Thank you very much. That was the Further Gambia. His Excellency Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh has taken the salute during the national anthem. Now they're leaving now since the chairman.
Okay, I feel a bit happy about the appointment because of our role. I think that is the right appointment for me, as I am appointed by the chairman of the council.
When actually are you going to your ministry?
As soon as possible. In fact, today I'll see all the staffs at the ministry.
So are you hoping that these people will do well in the ministry?
Hopefully, that is our aims and objective to start the ministry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Mr. Jahumpa.
Yes, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Fine.
How are you?
Fine.
That's the pronunciation. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Please
You
sit
can
down.
sit over there. Please. You can come in.
Okay, come on, please. So you walk up.
I know you've all listened to the radio and the Observer. I know you've all gone through the as well.
That's right.
So I understand you
That's right, sir.
a member of the Armed Forces Professional Council.
That's right.
And I'm appointed by the chairman, care of the minister. So, any problems so far?
There are no problems so far.
Everything is going fine.
Everything is going fine.
All the workers are in now.
Yes, they are all in.
Mhm.
Yes, everything is flowing.
That's fine.
Work is continuing. And we are looking forward to working with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. This is Mr. Tali, the Permanent Secretary.
Mr. Tar.
Yes, sir. How are you, Mr.
Mr.
I
Tar.
am Bala Jahumpa.
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 Yes, okay. Oh, you are Ice Jahumpa?
I'm brother to Ice.
Yes, I
Same
know.
mother and
Yes,
same father.
I know him. I know Ice, yes.
That's
Ice
right.
Jahumpa, yes.
That's right.
Because, you know, I'm living just next door.
Next
Nowaka
door
Road,
to
yes.
you, yes.
Mm.
And the old man is at Boxbar.
Yes.
I was telling PS that you live at Tobacco.
Yes, that's fine.
That's right.
So my intention was this morning to come around and see,
Okay.
but we were having a press conference, so I could not turn up.
You could not come in.
So now I decided to just come and pay a visit.
That's very good.
And then maybe tomorrow morning
Yes.
by 11 o'clock,
Right.
I will need a brief.
Briefing.
Yes, a briefing. Yes.
That's right. We are ready for you.
Okay.
We'll be working with you.
Mhm.
Your office is prepared
Mhm.
and
Okay.
is clean.
Oh, thank you.
We have also recovered the former vehicles that the previous minister was using, including the Mercedes Benz
Uh,
that you are going to use.
okay.
They are all intact
With
downstairs.
the keys.
With the
The
keys.
keys are here.
Uh-huh.
Everything is here with me.
All right.
But when you come tomorrow,
Mhm.
I'm sure the place will be little more.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
Welcome to the Ministry for Local Government and Lands. We are very happy to have you here. We've been looking forward to seeing you. Everybody is glad to know that you are going to be our new minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Palmstead.
Palm Secretary, since you heard about the announcement which was made by the armed forces that you're supposed to take over the ministry before the appointment of the ministers, what were you doing during that time before the ministers arrived?
We actually continued with our normal business. Actually, it was just yesterday, Monday, we continued with the normal business. And there was a continuous flow of work. There was no stoppage of work. We continued with it. So, but now that the new minister is here, we are glad that he is here with us, and we are looking forward to working very closely with him.
Now, since it is a change of government, how did you see this government, present government?
We think that there is a smooth transition, because really the change has occurred very quickly, and there are no obstacles as such, so everything is moving on as smoothly as possible. So, we all think that we have the interest of the nation at heart. So we're going to work very closely with them, and things should go back to normal. And as far as we are concerned in this ministry, we are saying that work is continuing. So there's no stoppage.
So since at the past government, I know there must be some difficulties with your ministry facing. Maybe you have some constraints. Now, can you tell us any constraints that you have at the past?
Oh, well, we have some constraints in the ministry. There is no doubt about that. We have logistical constraints. That is, in some of the departments, we need transport. Transport in some cases might not be available, and since these are departments that are supposed to do their work in the field, that is need for adequate transport. That is a that is a big constraint as far as we are concerned. Now, apart from the logistical constraints, okay, we hope that there are also other constraints in terms of coordination, because of the fact that we have a very large ministry. The Ministry for Local Government is very large. It actually covers, we have 3 departments: Department of Lands and Surveys, Department of Physical Planning and Housing, Department of Community Development. And to actually coordinate the activities of all these ministries is not easy. But as time goes on, we will brief the new minister about all the things that we have been doing in the past, and that some of the constraints that we will highlight would be made known to him, and we will try and address these constraints and try and see how to actually remove them.
Finally, since the minister is just reporting tomorrow, what is your plan?
We plan to brief him. We will have a briefing session with him. We'll give him a rundown of what the ministry is doing. The ministry here and all the departments. So I will also try and invite the directors that are in the ministry, and there's going to be a comprehensive briefing.
Thank you very much, Permanent Secretary. Speaking to you.
This morning we had to clean the airport. All what's left all this year.
So, looking forward to your briefing.
Of course, we will. Looking forward to working with you.
All right. All right.
Now let's go. Okay. I'm the same one. I'm paradise.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Your Excellency, you are just coming from your ministry. So far, how did you observe the ministry?
Oh, well, the ministry, I think they set up by seeing the staffs. I think there is a lot of, I'm impressed about it.
I understood the local government is your area. Actually, can you tell me something about that? What do you mean about it is your area?
The local government is under me due to the fact that all the subsection as the chiefs, the commissioners will be under my responsibility.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Permanent secretary can come to office at 8, but he may leave after 5. I have had occasions where I have been here at 7 o'clock, at 7:30. You see, because it is a job that demanded. I have never charged for it. I have never asked for it. I have had the course to go on trek throughout. The first thing that happened to me on Monday was that I had to come and check because I was worried about a drought spell in the Sapo area. To see because the crops were under stress. I had clarification, and I'm happy to announce that it has rained, and that production is going on. The farmers are, working. They have peace, they have stability, and I thank you very much for that. Because without security, they cannot work, and we cannot produce, and we cannot feed this nation. Our aim is food security. Food security meaning that we have to be able to feed ourselves at any given moment and at any given time. This is the objective. Now, I agree with you that we have to change attitudes. The attitudes have to change. In the Gambia, we have an attitudinal problem. And we are all with you to make sure that we change those attitudes and get the new habits. So that at least, we can develop our society, because we are developing it for ourselves and for nobody. You found us discussing about resource flows. This is what we are brainstorming. I called them in, I said, now, let us look at the programs. How is the money going to come in? Who are the donors, We met 2 or 3 donors here today, FAO came in here. They are talking about seeds. This is a drought area, you know. So, you know, we will work together. And I promise you that we'll do our best. And please, where we go wrong, because as you rightly said, we are all human beings. Yeah? Call us, you know. I thank you very much for this.
Yes,
Yes.
as I said earlier on, you know, we are after seeing that there is discipline throughout the structure of the state. That is, we are waging a war against indiscipline. So, and as a government department, you have vehicles under your command or under your control in civil terms. These vehicles should only go out on official missions. This should be very clear to you. And that at 4:30, we don't want to see any government vehicle moving around. All government vehicles should be parked by 4:30.
Okay, we will discuss that one, because it varies from ministry to ministry. There are some ministries that are operational ministries. This is a ministry which is covered countrywide, you know.
Okay, not to cut you short.
Yes.
Okay, as to the operational aspect of it,
Yes.
okay, you're going to put down modalities that you say, okay, at 4:30 and beyond, any vehicle within your ministry here, for example, going on the trip to Sabo, will issue the kit, and the driver will have the kit in hand, signed by the permanent secretary, authorizing the vehicle to go on a trip to Sabo. So from there on, as soon as it takes off from Banyun here, or whichever location within your ministry, going towards the provinces, it will stop on the way by our personnel. On the security aspect of it, I mean, it will show them the kit, and every one of them will understand that this is a kit issued by the Minister of Agriculture. But these people to stay away in the provinces for so and so number of days, and thereby there will be no friction between the driver and the man, neither the driver and the ministry itself.
Okay, and there has been also some regulations. I don't know how they apply. Like a minister who may be called upon any time, his vehicle, the permanent secretary, you know, he was not receiving any basic car allowance. He was not receiving anything, you know, because he was using an official government vehicle. You see, all those regulations are there. So that, but if we have the internal control, we can do the internal control. It will be very easy. I was just, and the commissioners may help us because, as I said, agriculture is up to Fatoto. You see, everywhere. You see.
To that aspect also,
Yes.
if you have any other job, do the permanent secretary or the minister, for example, to do a job beyond the period time 4:30. The vehicles, all vehicles are issued with lock seats, and there is a master copy within your ministry, which is supposed to be with the transport foreman of your ministry. And if the vehicle is parked and you are supposed to go on an interview, for example, or a mission outside after 4:30, there's no point. Get the vehicle, sign the lock seat, and go. If the vehicle is in somewhere else, and we cross-check with the lock seat and it's not written, then that's a problem.
Good.
Do you have any other doubt?
It's for everybody. You can come up with anything you feel is doubtful to you.
Because there's one thing.
What?
I only want to ask one question.
Yes.
Like, you know, in that kind of regulation, you can have an exception for the management team of the Ministry of Agriculture. Because the permanent secretary has mentioned to you that in this ministry, our tradition is that we are dealing with a natural environment. Himself and myself, and sometimes some of the other senior staff, are of course to be staying here to deal with critical issues relating to the agricultural sector. To the extent that sometimes, no, in fact, you forget about your lunch. So in that case, if we had one problem, you know, this particular system was instituted by the office of the president that beyond 4 o'clock, all government vehicles will be packed. Okay, the problem that we have foreseen here, we are located in Banjul, but a lot of our departments are outside. When we have cause to really consider a very critical issue, demanding the presence of our directors here, you have a problem when it is around 3:30. Nobody is concentrating because they are thinking of the problem at the bridge. So I think that could create a little bit of a problem. I think there has to be, if I welcome the suggestion that in this kind of partnership there has to be a dialogue and free flow of information. So we have to really, I mean, based on our own experiences, we have been working here for quite a number of years. We have been confronted with constraints that perhaps hinder the performance, our performance, the way we would like to. Okay, but after some time there has been a laxity in this question of control of vehicles. So I can't stay here. I don't have the authority to use my project vehicle beyond closing hours, but according to the old regulation, the permanent secretaries were the only ones who had authority to get use of their official vehicles. Okay, but because of the fact that this particular regulation there has been a laxity in maintaining it, I can comfortably sit here and carry on my duties up to 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock without fear, of any intimidation on the way. So I don't know, there has to be some trade-off. I think when it comes to perhaps the key management staff of the ministry, we have to have some flexibility. Otherwise, as I said, by 3 o'clock we have to
That's for our own person. In all the ministry we are understanding.
Yes. My other worry is on key, on policy issues. With ministries, especially agriculture, things are always, moving, especially Gambia being, we don't have money here in this country, we depend a lot on these donors, who are supporting our programs. And there are donors, who make certain programs, and certain implications have to go beyond, the permanent secretary, and some of these things have to go to cabinet, Maybe I just wanted to find out. I know that things have been very systematic and has been very, very methodical and very much organized. But like we were programming a World Bank visit. They are supporting the agricultural sector, in terms of production. We are programming also in the month of August, very early in August, African Development Bank who are also supporting us, for production of certain agricultural, crops, like rice, basically in the Sapo area. So I was just wondering, that for the time being, and how soon, do you think that, we can be having regular access, to State House? And
that's why I said it's open to everybody. Even the low-class worker, for example, it's open to everybody. Be a cleaner especially.
I'm very happy.
If you have anything contribution to make towards the betterment of the nation, you have to, even at night, you knock on our doors, we are free to come and meet you, talk it out, discuss it, and it goes to the society as a plan. That's not a problem.
That's very
Our doors are widely open for everybody.
Okay.
I think that's very important because we're just discussing this resource flow business. And we're worried about the donors, because without donor support, we'll be having problems. We don't have any mineral resources, natural resources are almost non-existent. So this is our worry. So we have to make sure we try to work out a program. Maybe what you need to have here is a two-way dialogue by having getting a think tank of senior officials, government and old people to have a brainstorming like this in a bigger forum where we can discuss these issues and see how best to address those problems as soon as possible.
Because the job of the permanent secretary as a coordinator and the management team really is not to go and physically do it in the field. We have our field staff. For us is to bring in, the resources. And then when we bring in the resources, we allocate them the resources and we supervise that, it is being done. So, but we also have to be in constant touch with our bosses, you see, so that, we advise them, they give us the green light, and say, can we bring this in, No, we support these people, no, we don't know, don't ask for them, These are the sort of things that, we don't want to burn our fingers, because the new policies, have to be clearly, maybe spelled out, And for that reason, really, we would like, that constant dialogue. We would like that constant dialogue, and we would like to be invited once in a while, to make our own small suggestions, to see that, at least, we have some ideas also, because we are all interested, in the development of this country, and we know that, definitely, from the announcements and everything, that you are very well-meaning. After all, it's the same family. So, yes, exactly. That's right.
Mr. Permanent Secretary,
yes.
I understood you have a new ministry now.
Yes.
We all know that your area is a big, you have a big responsibility.
Yes.
The former government were facing a lot of difficulties.
Yes.
Now, what is your plan with this new present government?
Well, basically, as I have said, I want to make sure that, this present government of very young and patriotic, Gambians have the right advice in the first instance. I will want to give them my honest advice, as far as, the sector is concerned, as far as how the Gambian people are food secure. This is number one. You see. Number two, I also want to make sure that, that they are getting the right advice from there, which should actually, complement with the objectives, are spelled out for this ministry. The second being that, we want to make sure that, in the face of a difficult situation, where we depend on international trade, we depended on international trade, and faced with the situations, we want to diversify, to see that there is export-orientation, to generate, foreign reserves into this country. Because let's face it, we are threatened with a situation at the moment. The international trade in the Gambia used to flourish, We had these visions, of a gateway, But at the moment, the free flow of goods within the sub-region is facing some constraints. You have to look at alternatives. And you cannot do it without agriculture. And agriculture, you cannot depend on primary production. You have to go into value added. You have to export horticulture, You have to make sure that, the resource is coming, You see, money, you don't print money like this, You have to work it to come in, you see, so that you program it. You want to make sure also that the public expenditure programming, you see, is well laid down, and then the priorities are well set out, you see. This, I believe, that I want to discuss with them, and then to make sure that, we agree on that line of action, and we mutually support each other, for the benefit of the Gambia. This is my view.
So we understand they will be taking over very soon. When are you going to brief them about your ministry?
My first thing that I was discussing with my colleagues here, just before you came, is that I will be, preparing a comprehensive brief. There are some urgent issues, a comprehensive brief for the minister, whom I know very well. I have worked with him. He's just back from training. And give him the major orientations. It will not be difficult because we have been working together and we know each other. And based on that, give him a comprehensive brief because he was in an area, maybe he doesn't have the whole overview, but to give him the general overview, because agriculture, as you see, is very wide. It's one of the largest ministries. And I have heard that they said agriculture and natural resources. I don't know whether it was a mistake or whether it was the two ministries that were merged together, to become one ministry. But if it is the two ministries that are merged together, then that makes it all the more onerous, which means that I have to prepare a comprehensive brief, update him, and then, give him the major emphasis, towards what we want to attain, within the given time frame, and then we work on that. There are some urgent things waiting. Exactly.
Finally, we understood you most like the idea of changing the government. Do you?
Oh yes, when it happened initially, I came to know about it, that it was a takeover. We were within the system, we know what was wrong, we know what was right. You see, see, it is not, completely 100%, bad, because I have faith in the Gambian people. I have faith in the Gambian people, that I will say anywhere, that, there have been some efforts. But we know also the problems. There were problems, which could have reached a stage of strangulation. And I believe that that was a relief, quite frankly. Yes.
Thank you very much, Permanent Secretary.
Okay, thank you.
Agriculture and medical staff around waiting for their new ministers. We're just patrolling around to see the new setup which has done in the ministry. I'm sure they will cope with their minister. I'm sure they will cope with their minister to carry out the function of the ministerial duty.
Hospital, where are we heading to? This has been going on, and now we're going to put a stop to it. We use the small resources we have in the better position to help the community as life. I hope it is clear. You, the Permanent Secretary, this is your job. Make sure these things are worked out in a way which suits your ministry, because not all ministries are the same by functions. So it is your responsibility now to work with your staff entirely, hand in hand, and be cooperative with us also. In any area you feel you can help in, you are welcome. We are open to everybody. even the cleaner and down the ladder can contribute in the best, he can contribute towards the achievement of the best thing for the whole nation, for the people of the Gambia. That's why we are out to help the country. We're not out to destroy anybody. We're not out to destroy any organization, neither a ministry. It's the work, what we are out for, and we're going to work, and we make sure that everybody works to the best. If you're not ready to work, there's no push and pull, there's no fight. Just stand aside and say, I'm not ready to work, and somebody just moves into a place, and you go and rest. That's the best. I hope it is clear. So from now on, you are open to you people. Anytime you feel you have a problem, either the phone or you come and face us. Talk to us, we talk to each other, we advise on basic things which have to be done so that the government actually will work hand in hand with two permanent secretaries. You are our pillars. If you fall apart, the government will fall apart. So therefore, we are not encouraging any mistake by any individual. For any mistake will be taken to be a sabotage. And that is going to be responsible of you, the permanent secretaries. Because we don't know what is a mistake. All we know is a deliberate thing. And we have our answers to those deliberate actions. And that's what we are going to implement. You want to work? Fine, you are a friend. You don't want to work? Gentlemen, it's business. So any problems with any one of you or any doubt, you are free to put it to the floor to discuss it out in the short time we have here. We're supposed to go down the ministries. No, be seated, please. Be seated, please. Be seated. Thank you very much.
As you can see, in fact, we've already started work. This is my team. We're addressing the cleansing services management. Cleansing services are responsible for the cleansing of Banjul and its environments. I've got my acting director. I've got the cleansing services manager. The deputy permanent secretary is here. We are all addressing, and of course, these are technical people. Model. We all discussing the issues how to really cleanse the city of Banjul, its environments. We're developing strategies, not only strategies, but we are also implementing in the field. This is one of the many problems we've started addressing. It's just an indication of what we are doing and how we're going about it. I mean, this is the top management, which is relevant to the management of the cleansing services. And we have many activities like that, and that's the way we normally address it, so that every hand will be on deck. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, for the advice you've given.
Once again, on the vehicle aspect of it, by 4:30 in the afternoon, when people close, all vehicles, the government vehicles emphasized, are supposed to park. No government vehicle whatsoever is supposed to be seen running around without a specific duty by that ministry. However, we're going to pass out kits, by modalities we're going to set up, to issue to any vehicle which is going to operate beyond the hours speculated for vehicles to park, especially the ambulances, for example. Yes, but this will be communicated to in due course. So I hope there will be no problems. So we are welcome anytime, once again, to meet us anywhere, anytime, over the phone or verbally, to sort out one or two things for the betterment of the nation. Thank you very much, Mr. Permanent Secretary, and the entire staff of the Ministry of Health, Labour and Social Welfare. Thank you.
Vice Chairman, Mr. Lieutenant Sabbaly, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I understood you are patrolling around. How do you see the movement going on so far?
Actually, we're getting our aim because we're meeting so many ministerial permanent secretaries to tell them what are our aims, because seeing is believing, and hearing by the man's actual voice from face to face will actually tell you what he means than just seeing it on paper or just hearing it over the radio. So you have to go and meet the man and tell him on the face what you mean, then he realizes what actually you are out for.
Did you think with the present government you'll be able to put in the right challenge you want?
Definitely we are out for it, and we've set standards. We're going to make sure these standards are achieved in the best possible time.
Thank you very much, Vice.
I am Teres Drame.
Teres Drame.
What you sit there?
Permanent secretary is on a mission abroad.
Who is he?
He is Hunyai.
This Ministry of?
This is the Personnel Management Office. Under the Office of the President.
Once again, you said the Permanent Secretary's name is?
Hunyai.
Do we have silence?
Hunyai.
And you address?
Teres Drame.
What are our telephone numbers in this office?
22 in my office?
Yeah.
228642.
We are talking to you in place of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of
Personnel
Management
Office.
Okay. Now we are members of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council.
Okay.
He is the Vice Chairman of this council, and I'm a member of the council.
Okay.
Here we are out to tell or inform all government departments and ministries of what we want to be done.
Okay.
What we want to be done is that all departments and ministries of government should ensure that there is maximum discipline as necessary.
Okay.
Because without discipline, nothing can be done properly. We are trying to emphasize this because any error that comes in any activity whatsoever, in any function whatsoever, it is because of ill discipline. So we are waging a war against indiscipline, in short. But this war, we are looking at certain points. One is punctuality of all public workers. Two is the control of personnel in public departments and ministries. And three is the control of the nation's resources, that is either material or otherwise. But I think the Vice Chairman will go into detail as to what actually the ruling council wants.
Good afternoon, Deputy Permanent Secretary.
Good afternoon.
And the entire staff of the Personnel Management Office of the President. Okay, actually, as you have just rightly mentioned, we are out to sort things out in the right way they are supposed to be sorted out, which were neglected in the previous government. But now that's not our problem. Since they are out, we are in to sort things out. But now you've been the Permanent Secretary. The Personnel Management Office is directly under your control, and the entire staff of this place. As he said, discipline comes in two folds. One, you the leader have to be disciplined. I'm sorry if we go across, but that's the way we put it sometimes. But I'm sorry, we are not out to insult anybody. Please. Fine. And the subject being ruled has to be disciplined again. So at least it's the reciprocal, give and take. But the moment he or she sees that, yes, my Permanent Secretary is like this and he's taken forward, automatically he or she has to be on that track with you. Otherwise, things will start to fall apart. And we have no room for things to fall apart in this system. As the present government, yes. And the personnel, can you put that from place? Office, you should be the people who are able to manage the personnel of all departments. Because at one time, I was in here and I asked for a friend and they said, we are for staff checking out to the provinces and the schools. So the same thing continues. From there, you pick up, it's your problem, you the Permanent Secretary. You make sure that we have the correct staff in any place of job where he or she is supposed to be. And not inflating the number of people in a school, for example, to say I have this number of teachers or this number of caretakers. When you go on the ground, you only have one person to be answering in the name of 4 or 5 personnel. That's destructive, not constructive. So it's so good to update your records, because we may be popping in here from time to time to find out on ourselves, physically, what is going on within this office and in relation to the outside schools or whichever department you are manhandling. We come to the vehicle aspect of it. May I ask you a question? Do you have vehicles under the
PMO?
PMO? Government vehicles, I mean?
Yes, we have 4.
We have 4. And who are controlling these vehicles?
The Permanent Secretary.
Permanent Secretaries. They are allocated to permanent secretaries.
Well, he is controlling them.
He's controlling them. No, by what that I mean, are they allocated to the permanent secretaries physically?
In the sense that he is the head of the institution, so the vehicles are under him, and he deploys them as he feels necessary.
Now, the vehicle control comes out. Any government vehicle should park by sharp 4:30 in the evening. There's no point in vehicles running around up and down the town, in and out streets after official working hours. However, there is going to be a modality which we're going to work out for all ministries, because not all ministries work in the same way. That beyond 4:30, if your vehicle is supposed to be subject to a certain job, there will be a kit given to the driver, signed by you, and the driver picks the kit and goes out for his job. In the street, it's better with the guards, it's only to show out the kid that I'm on this mission and it's free to go around. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, we are not dealing with that driver as an individual, but you, the permanent secretary, is a problem.
And that is with effect from now.
Solely.
From today.
Solely. It's not going to be easy to subject yourself to that changes.
But I have to know where the vehicles are.
Yes, you have to.
Because I cannot say where they are, really. I hold none, I use none, but I make sure that I abide.
No, but I'm not understanding that portion, that you don't know the whereabouts of the vehicles. It will be very funny for me.
Because I don't know, somehow I have one
the
that
vehicle
is
I was using was taken because we are on
there.
official
I
business.
don't know what I am afraid of is, if you say that it's my responsibility and they're going to deal with me right now.
Yes.
If I don't know where the vehicle is right now and it's going to closing time, then I am in trouble.
Already you are in trouble.
Now, can I help you here?
Okay, okay.
Yes, okay.
Let me help you.
Now, you have to find somebody to directly control those vehicles. But in our department, they call it the transport foreman, who gives the keys to all the drivers wherever they are going to, and they give him the vehicle keys as soon as they come in. There, and then you don't have any problem to do. If you see any vehicle outside and they say this is the vehicle to PMO, and it's out, get him by the neck, and you are free.
What I'm reading here, I think, Mr. Vice
Sure. Yes.
You were not getting me right. What I am saying, give us a time to know where the vehicles are. Then it will be only fair that from that time on, we are held responsible. But if you do it right now, you will cut our necks. So if you give us up to tomorrow, then the thing becomes effective tomorrow.
Okay, we wait today for you.
Can I throw some light on that? Because two of our vehicles are right now under custody.
Where?
I think one of them is being used right now. We do see it. The other one was parked at Denton Bridge. Now I think it's at Yundum, 1254. GG 1254. And then another Land Cruiser which we usually use for.
1254 is what type of vehicle?
505. It's the long one.
And is the Land Cruiser?
It's 1880, but I've seen that the number has been removed from the number plate. But we recognize the vehicle. There are only two.
It's GG also?
It's GG, yes. Yes. You know, we go for staff inspections, yes. And those are the vehicles we use to inspect this staff.
So both these two vehicles are not yet back?
No, they are not returned to us up to now.
Okay, we'll try to trace them out. As soon as we trace them out, surely we'll get them.
Please, thanks. That was
So,
you know we lack vehicles.
Apart from these two vehicles, all other vehicles are in.
They are parked here, yes. The two of them are here. They are here.
It means you know where
you have a good job to handle the vehicles then.
These two are here right now.
Yes. So now the rule goes into effect. Those that are here have to abide by the rule.
Just for the two.
Just for the two. Yes. No, please, we have agreed on the two for tomorrow.
No, but we've solved this problem.
Okay.
You know 2 are away. Trace them out first.
Yes.
Since you know telephone number, as soon as you trace them out, you just want to give me a call.
Her line is not that good, so you can use my line just in case. Because
my
you
line,
are Mr. Seymour.
Sometimes.
What Seymour, please?
Caliber Seymour. My number is 227-224.
Start down your system. Say we're going to set up for the government, for the nation as light. Stop us, put us through the right thing, and we work for the betterment of the country. But we don't have to leave us to get into the ditch, then you try to pull us out. It doesn't help. But you will be responsible then for another part of mismanagement.
Okay, I think that to our government as a whole, because now we have to work as a team. Incidentally, as vice chairman of this government, you are also our minister, because this is the responsibility of the vice chairman. PMO is directly under the vice chairman. I am glad that you have come, because we were wondering why we were not part of the show. And if you did not come, the intention was to go when because we had the announcement that people should report on Wednesday. We would have come anyway to say that we are part of the PMO and that you are our minister. All I ask is, where can I reach you when we need to reach you? Is it the same number that is in the office there, or you give us a number or give us access? Because you are inviting us to talk to you.
Yes.
But for us to do that, we need to know where.
Okay, presently the lines are already tapped. I've been using this office.
You've been coming here?
Yes.
Madam Deputy Permanent Secretary, I know there were some constraints at the past. Now,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
put it on for this present
We
government?
support you 100%, don't worry. We're behind you.
Government now, what are your plans with this present government?
With this present government, all that we plan to do is to work hand in glove with them. The objectives are laudable. They are talking about accountability. They are talking about discipline. They are talking about better ways of managing. And I think in this office, this is also our objective. If we had constrained doing it in the past, we are going to make sure that those constraints are addressed, especially when the vice chairman has now opened his doors, consultation, and is willing to work to iron out any difficulties that we have. And since we are responsible, especially for discipline in this service, we are just going to enforce what was already there in the statute books. The GO is clear about this. The PSC regulation is clear about this. All we need to do is really make sure that this is enforced. And we're going to do it.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you like the change of the government.
I do. Yes, thank you very much.
What numbers do you have?
I have my numbers 227315. Yusuf Diba. Mr. Yusuf Diba. His telephone number.
Yes, we are members. He is Lieutenant Senator Sabbaly, and I am a member of this council. I'm Sadibu Haidara, Lieutenant as well. We are on a familiarization tour of all the government ministries and departments, because we want to make sure that anything that we want, let it be done as we want it. And also, whatever we shall take, whatever action we shall take, should not be a surprise to anybody. Because if one's guidelines are not known, we may surprise somebody somewhere. So our own aim actually is to see that the state machinery is run smoothly, but within the principle of discipline. Actually, we have taken over a government, and we are not satisfied with the machinery of that government, because discipline generally, as we call it, was not existing in that government. So it is necessary for all of us to be disciplined. But this discipline should be geared towards certain areas. That is, one, the job itself, punctuality in the job and dedication in the job. Two, the control of personnel. And three, control of resources, including logistics. But I think the vice chairman will go in depth as to what actually we mean by what we have said so far.
Good afternoon, Permanent Secretary, and the entire staff of the Ministry of Local Governments and Lands. As you just rightly said, we are out to set standards and we make sure that those standards are achieved, for not only for the military, but for the entire nation and Gambia as large. And in doing so this, we have to work in hand with the permanent secretaries of various ministries to see that all these things are achieved, that nobody is hampered. As we said, we are not out to witch hunt anybody. Neither are we out to destroy anybody. We know the former system was bad and it was bad. So we've abolished it completely. Let bygones be bygones. What has happened initially, let's forget it. Let's pick up a new page and we start off from there. By doing that, actually we'll find out if our goals are achieved, the country will be, as we are saying, Singapore of Africa. And this is what we are out for. Everybody work, the basic things you are supposed to do, the work you are assigned to work, do it and you finish with troubles. But if you are assigned to a work and you just sit down there because you are lazy or whatever, it doesn't pay. Get the money at the end of the month which you work for. We are not going to pay anybody at the end of the month if you don't work for it. We are not. And this I will make sure it is clear to everybody. And this thing you, the permanent secretary, have to filter it right down to the last man as part of your ministry. The discipline aspect of it is funny in this case. Some confuse the discipline and the liberty. Coming to work 8 o'clock is discipline. If you have discipline in you, you should be at your place of work on time. Liberty is just you feel free to go to work. Now, if you have the discipline in you as a leader, and the subject also have a discipline in them, as they've been ruled by you, the permanent secretary, automatically there is no room for misunderstanding, neither a room to break you down. So automatically they have to have the link of the chain to work together below, and as they go up the ladder to find you at the top, everything will be smooth. There and then you will have the least time to sit down, hurry yourself of thinking what to do next, manually and so forth. There you have the easy time to work the best for the nation. But if you let your subordinates or your subjects down the ladder to be idle, an idle man is the workshop of the devil. They will hamper down and they will do whatever they want to do below the ladder. By the time it gets to you, it's you and the government, and we'll have trouble. And we don't have any business with anybody down the ladder. It's you, the permanent secretaries, we are out for. I don't mean we are out to destroy you. Understand that? I mean we're going to deal with you hand in hand. If somebody does something bad and down the ladder, you don't have to question him. Where was the permanent secretary? Even if you are not in the office, that's how we operate in the army. You should be in the position to answer for that issue. Vehicle issue. Do you have any vehicles by the government vehicles within your ministry?
Yes, please.
You have?
Yes, please.
Fine. All government vehicles are going to be segregated to your use, official use, but they have to be parked up after 6:30. Sorry, after 4:30.
16:30.
It's a mistake. 4:30. 16:30. If any vehicle whatsoever is seen within the streets roaming around, the driver, we don't have problem with him. It's duty permanent secretary again. I come back. Make sure all vehicles within your ministry are subjected to the right government job. Any vehicle which is not subject to anything to do within the day, make sure it is parked in the car park. And the cars are parked well with the keys in the key press. If you pop in the key press and we find a key there or a vehicle which is out unauthorized by you, you are in trouble again. Things are very clear because we don't want to surprise you at the end of the day. Oh, I was not told, so I try to do it in this way. That's why we are out today to tell you what achievements you want, what things you want and what you don't want. Now it's your duty to filter this to the people under you. However, you are free to come to us at any one time, in daytime or at night time, to tell us what you feel or how you feel we should do certain things to get our goals achieved. You are welcome, everybody within your ministry, any one time. Feel free and come to us. We are open-minded for everybody. These are part of our achievements also, because we cannot work and achieve something without the help of you people. Because we are not only the government, it's we and you. We work together, cooperate together, have understanding together, and we work things right for the entire people of the Gambia. I hope everything is clear. Feel free and come to us any one time for advice. Advise us if you see us going wrong. There's no point you see us going wrong, you fold back your hands and say, yes, they are gone men. If I talk to them, something is going to happen to me. No. Stop us, tell us you are doing the wrong thing, go through the correct way. And we look back, no, we are doing wrong thing for the right path. And there and then everybody is happy. Otherwise, if you go wrong, you as a statesman also, you have a part to play in that wrong development. So it's your entire duty now, and your cooperation is highly solicited. That is everybody within the ministry. Is that clear? Entire cooperation and punctuality to work is very important. I summarize.
Thank you so much. Also another point, as I said earlier on, we don't want to take anybody by surprise. This point should be bear in mind that at any time, any member of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council will be out to see whether department heads are doing what they are supposed to do. Yes. That is, as we live here, maybe the chairman himself will come in and see what we are doing. So we don't want to take anybody by surprise. That's why I think it is necessary to give this piece of warning so that everybody can be on alert at all times. I hope this is clear.
Thank you very much. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank you very much for the clear words that you have just mentioned. We are very happy that you have a very clear vision, and we also think that the objectives that you have laid down are quite noble. We believe that we will be able to work with you very closely. The objectives that you have outlined, we believe, are quite noble. Now, when it comes to the job, as civil servants, we will insist on what you have just said, that every civil servant must be dedicated. Every civil servant must come to work in time. And when you come to work also, you must be doing what you are supposed to be doing. That is very important, because it is important to come to work, but it is more important to be at work and do what you are supposed to be doing. That is very important. Now, the question of logistics, those things we will discuss later on, because we have some logistical problems, so many constraints that we have, but I don't think this is the time to actually discuss them. But I would also want to ask a question, because that is very important in terms of the use of transport. Because if you say that by 4:30, all the vehicles are supposed to be parked, because those who work in the office up to 4:30 or 5 o'clock, sometimes I stay here up to 6 o'clock. So that is going to be a problem. I think I would like to ask that question in the first place.
Okay.
Yes.
About that issue, is very well understood,
right,
and appreciate no doubt in it. We're going to set up a modality in that aspect to state that if beyond 4:30, any vehicle is supposed to move, for example, with you, or stay in the office up to 6 o'clock, you know where your vehicles are. Yes. All vehicles are issued with lock seats, and the master lock seat is within the system here, with the foreman, transport foreman. There's no point in going home without the vehicle, but fill the lock seat, and the time you left the place here to home, the vehicle drops you to come back. In the morning, it picks you, it comes back. All is clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This afternoon also, actually we had the opportunity of seeing our new minister. Starting from tomorrow morning, we'll be briefing him. Okay. And there are so many things that actually we would like to discuss with him. Sorry. And I hope that the suggestions that you have mentioned, we will have lots of suggestions, but we'll seize the opportunity and pass through him. Okay. So we want to seize this opportunity again on behalf of the entire staff of the ministry to thank you, and we want to express our sincerity and commitment, and we hope that we will actually do a very good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a very interesting occasion. You can see the Armed Forces men, the Armed Forces Council from left to right, Lieutenant Yankuba Toure, Lieutenant Edward, Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh, Lieutenant Haidara. They are all on the way. They have just signed of government, has signified that there will be peace in this country. This is the first time in Africa, the first time in the Gambia. You can never witness such an occasion in Africa. You can witness there is a lot of rain. They don't care whether there is rain, because they know that this council, this council have worked hard for the interests of the country. They sacrifice for the interests of the people. How matter there is a rain, they say they want to show the public who they are. They have sacrificed to serve for the nation. Mbadiwol Mbeme Fokang, Lieutenant Yaya Haidara, Yaya Jammeh, and Lieutenant Sasilo Kang Kobi, Biri Futadanang, Abai Official Kontong Kang, Melketa Polisol ni Soldier Solti, Wala Valenti, Ifrana Sai, mbokk yi fu mu nekk nii mu ngi mel ni kilifa yi agsi nañ ñu ngi nuyu ji officers yi seen officers yi ñu nekk soldats yi police yi gendarme yi ñoo fi nekk. ci Gambia lii wone na ne jàmm rek moo fi war a nekk ñoom ñu ne ñoom gis na leen ñoom mu ngi taw nag waaye nag ñu ne loolu moom jarut si comme que dañ bëgg a wone seen doom yi ñu ngi bëgg a wone ñoom doomi réew leen si Gambia bi kon nag lii alhamdulilah rabbil alamin sant na yàlla trop ani Lieutenant Edward Singate, Lieutenant Haidara, Lieutenant Edward Lieutenant Teng Ababulo Dikang, Officers Nyola, Lieutenant Yankuba Toure, Ofanamba Koma, Ababulo Dikang Officers Nyola. Nim Councilor ya nyitandiko, itel mu jandingoleti. Sama mina ka nyawnya e ko nyimu kayrolti Gambia kono. Woto amun doko kobe nyaminten ala tentu balon. Ifelenti ebe Alpha Kuma fon President Felenta Seleta Sang, Menkata Lieutenant Jammeti, a felenti abaye Sidou Ataka, Asita, aning executive members nyol menketa ministers nyolti, wol felenti Higulita. It's now for the Gambia. The head of state has taken salute. Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh has taken salute. Besides, at the left, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to the Makati Square in Banjul. We are now on the second rally since the armed forces took over. You could remember, okay. You could remember we have the first rally at Independence Stadium. It was indeed a quite interesting ceremony. Some thousands of people attended to witness the gathering. In fact, it was a quite interesting one. A lot of people from various people and from various tribes have come to witness the occasion. Today you have seen also another tremendous occasion. Lot of people around the Banjul area from different tribes have gathered here to mark this second rally with the Armed Forces Professional Ruling Council in progress. Certainly, if you look at this situation today, you will see definitely Gambian people are really willing to work with the armed forces. They have got the interest of this young chap, and no matter how the situation was and how the situation will be, there will be no problem. They have sacrificed to give them a support. And presently, you've seen different troops gathered here to mark this occasion in progress. Very soon, the ceremony will start. That's the press officer, Malik Jang. I believe he will give the introduction before His Excellency Lieutenant Yaya A. Jammeh will deliver his keynote address in this second rally here in Makati Square in Banjul. From left hand side of His Excellency, seated beside him is Lieutenant Sabbaly. At the right hand side, Lieutenant Edward Singate. At the left hand side, the corner, Lieutenant Yankuba Toure, Lieutenant Sadibu Haidara. We also have the as I said, you have you have the executive members. At the back side, you have His Excellency. You have Honorable Bibu Dabo. You have Honorable Mbemba Tambiru. You have Honorable Makati Square Banjul Bankoto be Gambia Badingolu be Banjul Sato Lokono Makati Square Gambia Bankoka Amtoko Janong Ben Flanjang to be Sato Nia Alfani Kafume Lieutenant Yaya E Jamme wala nata anaya council members nyol kana nyimbe mfulanjanto ikafume Armed Forces Provincial Ruling Council second rally in Makati Square kono nyumu alatentu balati bring ya bankota muntoko kaira dorna bijam aliaje melbe loring wollon soldado solti e bebe lokuning e bebe nyafay kan karobela kaje ko president men nata jam ana e council members pour ku kane muta inata hajo menna ka o kibaro dante ye janjang kera kono mokay fu nekani mu ngi melni si ñaarel meeting bu ñoo wax ne rally ñi nga xamne gaay Armed Forces Professional Ruling Council ku nekk jiti réew bi moy Lieutenant Yaya E Jammeh moy ñew mu wara sanu ji kaddu si besi jotaay bi mu ngi melni bu nga xamni jëne réew bi jàmm rek moo nekk si réew bi yaa ngi seet bu mu ñëwee ba balaa moo egsi sax bëccëg si yëpp mu doon di taw lii dafa wane démocratique ak jubadi moo war a doxal si réew bi ak jub moo war a nekk si réew bi kon nag lii dañ war a sant yàlla lii mu ngi xam ne dafa wane yàlla sax wane na ne xale yi ñu jël réew bi jàmm rek moo war a nekk si dëkk bi di kii bëccëg si mu ngi taw rek waaye noonu loolu taxul nag ñu war a fooma bés bi Lieutenant Yaya E Jammeh mu ne ba tey dañoo continuer comme que oote nañ bés bi oote nañ nit yi war a ñëw te yaakaar ne nit yi uyusi nañ lii kontaan bu rëy la si doomi Gambien lii lañ bëgg a gis nag ku nga xam ne war naa taxaw doxal bu neex ñu ko bëggee kon nag xam naa balaa président bi si boppam ak kilifa yi fi ñëw balaa ñoo commencé wax nag dinañ déglu musique tuuti ak luñ jot a gis fii. Thank you very much. That was the Army Band. And I believe before His Excellency make his keynote address, we will see what would be here to entertain the public. That is police band, the Army Band, who have combined to supply the music. At the corner, you have seen the fullers with their acrobatic instruments on display. Certainly, when you
certainly, if you see this gathering, you will know it's an interesting one. Since these people have announced that today would be their second rally to be held in Banjul, they have sacrificed, no matter how the situation, no matter the rain is coming, they say this is a sign, and it is something that the Gambians were expecting. Since these people took over, you can know for certainly God has given them peace, and then people have really prayed for them for the success of their ruling. That's the demonstration by the Fullers. We can see now their performance. baɗigolu ɓe member jan bi tabarkalla ɓe ɗurim bakele na tem fulanjango aning Afprc profession ruling council men keta lieutenant jamme anay council members wol bi jambi ka koñi kinimandi mel fang e koñi fang kinimandi baki fang wolong am police banol ani soldier sol wala fang be musical supply kan naje jaliba kuyate fanam bijang different troops here. You have the Afro or the fuller Afro batik. They have also here. You have different types of troops. The Woloffs, the Mandinkas, the Jolas are here to witness and to commemorate this important occasion. Thousands of spectators from Brikama, Combo, and in Banjul have come here to witness the occasion. Certainly, it's going to be a very nice gathering here. You have officers from various sections of the military. You have captains and lieutenants in this lineup. mbokk yi mu ngi mel ni ñi ñooy kilifa yi ñu nga xam ni ñoo nekk si place yi soldats yi am nañ si capitaine yi am nañ si lieutenant yi si line bi mu ngi mel ni line bi nag lieutenant bi ku nekk borom head of state bi Yaya Jammeh moom egsi na woon fii nuyu ji kilifa yi nag ñoo ko nekk di ko jàppaloon liggéeyam bi ba nga xam ni tey moom jàmm rek lañ am ak moom baɗigol amunta ko ñi mool men felenti wollon soldados itollon molti inin ya kuntioñin fan men keta lieutenant Jammeh itolla tarta ñokan e ñoma koye ɗo ko kan fo dow ko ñin tata a tembeta amunta ko ñin layno to jang capitaine ol ɓe kono lieutenant ol ɓe kono